everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk all about what it's like to be a NASA engineer because yes, as cool as that sounds, I would know. First of all, if you do not know me, my name is Kat. I am an electrical engineer and have been an electrical engineer for the space industry for the past few years. I started my career at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab as an intern, where I was extended 3 times before finally being offered a full-time position about 6 or 7 months before my actual graduation date. If you're interested on how I got my internship, I did make a video about that. That is the first one in this 3-part series. And if you're interested on how I was able to turn that internship into a full-time job, I also made a video about that, so you can find that right here, and I'll also link them down in the description. So I first started out my career working for several different missions. I didn't really have a set mission that I was a part of. I was kind of jumping around while I was an intern. So I've been able to work on missions like the Perseverance rover and Psyche in that way by filling in for others. But when I became a full-time engineer, I was officially assigned to the Europa Clipper mission. If you don't know what the Europa Clipper mission is, let me tell you, because it is one of the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. So the Europa Clipper mission is an orbiter that is going to go to Jupiter in order to do an investigation of its moon, Europa. Europa is really cool because it is the biggest possibility for suitable conditions for harboring life. Now, another really cool thing about this mission is that even though it is going to go and investigate Europa, this orbiter is going to be orbiting Jupiter. It has some really cool instruments like a radar capable of penetrating ice because we want to know how thick that sheet of ice is around the moon, because Europa is also believed to have liquid water beneath the icy crust. So finding out how thick that ice layer is and where the water is definitely one of the major goals of this mission. But I digress. As you can tell, I'm very excited about this mission. Europa Clipper was my very first full-time NASA mission, meaning I was officially assigned to this mission on a full-time basis. The group that I was in, you can think of it kind of like a puzzle piece, where this group, no matter the mission, will always do this particular part. And so a lot of us, even though we're in the same group, we're split up into the different missions doing similar work. So like I mentioned in the previous videos, I started out my career as a circuit board designer and PCB designer. So I was working on so many really cool things, designing circuit boards, and this continued into my full-time job. My latest design actually was for the Mars sample return mission, something that's actually going to be on the actual spacecraft. So when I joined Europa Clipper, I got a taste of what it's like to be a test engineer, because when I joined, a lot of the different systems and boards had already been designed or chosen. We were in the testing phase, and this is something that's very common at NASA, where you can follow your project through the different stages. And I really love that about working for NASA as opposed to maybe a larger company. Now, I just want to say real quick, this does depend on the group that you're in at NASA. For example, if you're working on designing a spacecraft computer, then yes, you're going to have a lot more people kind of looking over your shoulder. You're likely maybe only going to have one particular role, and then another group is going to be doing the testing, another group is going to be doing assembly, things like that. So during this time, we were in the testing phase, which meant that I was doing a lot of testing of spacecraft simulations. The way that we test the spacecraft computers is by designing some really fun, really big, and really time-consuming simulations which simulate the entire spacecraft. So picture like putting the computer in the Matrix. The computer thinks I'm in the spacecraft, or it thinks I'm on my way to Jupiter, but really it's just in our lab connected to a bunch of our simulations that we design, build, and test. I eventually became the test lead for this particular group that I was in within Europa Clipper, where these systems and simulations were my responsibility. I would write the procedures for them, I would test them, I would direct anybody that was working with me on what we needed to do, and if anything wasn't working with it, I needed to fix it. But I will say that something that I really truly love about working at a place like NASA is how friendly everyone is and how willing they are to teach you something. There were so many times where I would walk into some of my coworkers' offices who have been working at JPL for so many years and had worked on so many amazing missions, had all this experience, I would go in there, ask them a question, and they would pull out their whiteboard and do an entire hour-long lecture to teach me about the way things have been done before, what has been tried, what worked, what didn't, why we're currently doing what we're doing. It kind of felt like your own personal university in a way, where your professors are the people that you have looked up to your entire life. Another thing that I really loved about working for NASA is that they were so willing to let you try something new. So if you were to go to your supervisor and say, I want to try some programming, or I want to try some board design, or I want to try some testing, they try to find a way and find some time for you to get in there and do those things. So your degree, you weren't bound to it. You didn't have to stick to that if you didn't want to. You could go out and explore and try different things and learn from the people who were currently doing those things at a very advanced and important level. Now, have I had moments where I felt like I didn't belong? I felt scared, I felt overwhelmed? Absolutely. But working at NASA has really taught me to value myself, value my work, and specifically working with the lead that I was working with really taught me to value my work-life balance and my personal life outside of work. Thank you so much again for watching. Feel free to subscribe, feel free to follow me. All of my socials are right here, and I will see you next time. Bye.